We share everything these days, from the most mundane moments to once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Live streaming our lives to the world has become second nature. Most often, we catch live streams that are uplifting, hilarious, and sometimes touching. What happens when you stumble on a nightmare live streaming right into the palm of your hand? If you'd been scrolling through Instagram on January 30th, 2021, you may have found out. At roughly 1 a.m. on January 30th, 2021, the police in Vacaville, California received a call from a concerned citizen. She claimed to be watching Raymond Weber's live Instagram feed. He was brandishing a gun, mumbling weird, rambling monologues, and there were two unclothed females laying on the floor behind him. They weren't moving. What neighbors in the Rocky Hill veterans-only apartment building witnessed that night makes one wonder if live streaming platforms are governed well enough or if they should even exist. Morgan Gardner lives a few doors down and was terrified.
Saw a video, very disturbing. I don't know, I didn't know how to process it. It was all just very crazy.
The man in the apartment live streaming his disgusting deeds on Instagram was Raymond Michael Weber, a 29-year-old Army veteran with a troubled past. He was sentenced to 6 years of federal time in 2006 for felonious attacks. In May 2014, he served a 90-day stint for probation violations and then another 6 months for one more felonious attack charge, this one stemming from the demise of his previous girlfriend, 19-year-old Nicole Duarte. According to the Sacramento police report, Raymond's younger brother, Antoine, discharged his gun into her face. Both Weber boys took off running. On Saturday, March 15, 2014, at approximately 12:37 a.m., officers responded to the 7200 block of Gloria Drive when the victim's neighbor called police after the injured Duarte knocked on her door in search of help. Responding officers found that Duarte had a gunshot wound to her face and was in need of immediate medical attention. Antoine Weber pleaded no contest. Public records show he is now in the California State Prison. He will be eligible for parole in 2028. In the fateful early morning Instagram Live, Raymond walked around shirtless, smoking, his long dreadlocks swinging silently back and forth as he waved his gun. He ranted about the women in the room having set him up and that his brother, who is a popular local rapper, Uzi Marcus, tried to organize a hit on him. Uzi is currently behind bars without bail for endangering the life or health of a child and possession of a firearm by a felon. Raymond would be very close to the camera 1 minute and out of frame the next. He would gesture toward the women with his gun in silence or ramble about his brother and how he knew the police would eventually show up. The apartment seems crowded and unkempt. Piles of clothing and random boxes sat about a room with little decoration. No pictures on the walls or knickknacks on a coffee table. The video lasted a little over 30 minutes while mortified viewers stared on, especially one woman in Utah, Enya Taylor Taberge. Her daughter, 26-year-old Savannah Taberge, had just left Utah for California with her new fiancé, Raymond Weber. And the woman in the background looked suspiciously like her daughter. She had the same tattoos, build, and features.
This guy coerced her to go under the ruse that they were going to be engaged and he wanted her to meet his family.
Once police began receiving the emergency calls, they formed a barricade around the apartment and moved all the surrounding neighbors from their apartments. Police and SWAT tried over and over to get him to give up, but he refused. After almost 8 hours, the police lobbed gas into the apartment windows and rushed in. Raymond was hiding in the back part of the apartment. He made the police use their tasers to get him into custody. They found the two females' remains. Savannah's mom was correct. Her daughter was one of the women laying on the apartment floor. The other was a 15-year-old girl whose parents have been kept anonymous. She was a student at Elk Grove High School. It didn't take long before police found out Raymond was also in trouble in Utah. Just a few months before he took her, Raymond and Savannah were at her apartment in Utah when a male friend came to visit. When she didn't answer the door, he yelled out to her. Within seconds, Raymond charged out of the apartment, waving a gun and screaming threats at the man. Raymond hit him in the head with the end of the gun, and he and Savannah left. When police caught up with them, Savannah said another man she met at a bar had been the culprit, not Raymond, and the two hightailed it to California before Raymond was positively identified. He still faces the charges from this incident. Raymond was held without bond and scheduled to see a judge in February of 2021. Instead, Judge Jeffrey C. Kaufman vacated the proceedings, suspended all criminal proceedings, and ordered a 1368 doctor's report, which is a mental competency exam. A 1368 doctor's report is a reference to the California Penal Code that states the court's duty when the of a defendant is questionable. According to law, if he is found unstable, he cannot be tried until he is deemed fit to stand trial. Raymond again appeared in court on March 12, 2021, but no mention of the 1368 report was made. The case was postponed until May 2021. Raymond's vile video remained on YouTube for more than 20 hours before it was taken down. Long enough for many unscrupulous viewers to make copies and post them on subscription-based websites, much to the dismay of Savannah and the 15-year-old girl's families. Savannah's mom had a memorial service for her on the day that would have been her 27th birthday, only days after her demise.
We set up balloons, we had candles, everybody wrote notes, we had music that she liked, then it was about 30 people, and we sang happy birthday to her and let the balloons go.
This case is only the latest in a slew of live-streamed atrocities that are happening more and more. A man in Turkey, Erdogan Sarin, used Facebook Live to showcase the end of his life with a gun in 2016. Steve Stevens live-streamed himself gunning down an elderly man in 2017. He claimed it was because his heart was broken and was later found in a car after he'd taken his own. Jared McLemore set himself on fire on Facebook Live in 2017 too. He also claimed it was due to a broken heart. He poured gas on himself in a parking lot of a bar in Memphis and lit a match. He ran toward the bar where his ex was inside, but never made it. A father in Thailand hung his own child on Facebook Live when he was afraid his partner was unfaithful. Regular citizens aren't the only ones you'll see in these type of DIY expose reports. There have been many leaked videos showing police wrongdoings, such as the George Floyd and Philando Castile cases. This isn't just an American problem either. It's happening all over the world. Experts believe the reasoning is super simple. Attention. Ray Kelly, a former commissioner of the New York City Police Department, told ABC News, "Many criminals, in my experience, they crave notoriety. Facebook gives them potentially, perhaps hundreds of millions of viewers. Besides notoriety, people who post this type of stuff online have low impulse control and self-control. It's difficult for them not to do everything online, including bad stuff, even when they know they will get in trouble. While it isn't odd for people to show off their bad behavior, what's different now is the exposure. Deeds that could once only be witnessed by whoever was in the vicinity can now be seen all over the world in real time. The ball is still up in the air on this one. What do you think will happen in court? Is Raymond capable of facing the court for what he's done? If so, Will he plead innocent? How could he? Leave your comments on this newly emerging case below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you get all the fresh content.